Greetings. This is the Ghetto Free Press, and I'm George Boston Rhymes, and I'm in Quitman, Georgia, and in the county of Brooks, and in the United States of America. This court case with Lula Smart, one of the Quitman 10+2, is a very, extremely very interesting court case. If you had been in the courtroom this morning, you would not believe your ears. This is one of the most bizarre situations I have ever seen in my life. All I can say to the people here in Brooks County, South Georgia, the state of Georgia, and the United States of America is that all the civil rights organizations, Reverend Jesse Jackson, Reverend Al Sharpton, members of the Republican Party, the true patriots of the Republican Party, Democratic Party, Green Party, Independence Party, all of you all need to get a copy of the transcripts of the initiation of the arrest of the Quitman 10+2 on 21 December 2010. You need to let this case be a landmark case because the foundation and bedrock of our democracy is based upon the Quitman 10+2 and what has happened to these outstanding citizens by a movement that is apparently much deeper than anybody have ever imagined. Look, if you go back to the beginning of when these outstanding people were arrested, I was in Atlanta when I received a call from some of the Quitman 10 members, being a civil rights activist. But look, I came to Quitman and I walked the streets along with the late deceased Pastor Calvin Benjamin. We walked the streets. People and voters say they were intimidated by the G.B.R, but this was never reported in the newspapers. Look, we are now in the 6th day of this case with Lula Smart and the Quitman 10+2. Where are the news media? Where are the television? Where are the radio? Where are they? This is a very high-profile case. It seems as if, though, there is something strange that's going on in this republic here at this hour in America's history. Why would not the news media, WALB out of Albany, the news media in Tallahassee, the news media in Thomasville, the news media in Valdosta, why is it that there is a total blackout, a whiteout, a green out, a total out of the out? And the thing about it, it seems as if though someone or some orchestra, let me repeat, or some orchestra seem to be so exempt from criticism until they don't even give a damn about being here, because they know that if they can control the scribes of this dispensation as the scribes in Jesus' day, then nothing will ever be done or corrected about a problem that the black community have known for centuries. Now back on point about what happened in the courtroom this morning, and I can't even explain it to you because it's too complicated. Let me put it like this. The things that I put on kvci.blogspot.com on my blog, let me back up, kvci.blogspot.com. If you like, Google kvci.blogspot.com, not Boston G.B.R. I was blogging before I started making videos. Go back, again, kvci.blogspot.com. Better yet, I think I'm going to pull some of those blogs into the video arena so you can see that when they first started accusing the Quitman 10 the base in the newspaper, let me put it, they filled the TV up. They filled the newspapers up. They filled radio up talking about these criminals with these mug shots. But look, the number one thing they talked about originally was that there was a spike in absentee ballots here in Brooks County, and that's why little flags went up. It came out unequivocally clear. The former registrar spoke today, and she explained it so well that even a crazy man could understand it. But I said that way back then. I knew that the law had changed for submitting absentee ballots, and C.V. King, Attorney King, brought it out very clear today with the help of a former registrar. But look, let me get back on point. Lord have mercy, help. I said in my blog, and I asked the news media, and I asked the television station when I was interviewed, but they never published that I could see. If there was a spike in absentee ballot submissions and turn-ins, then why nobody asked a question, did the law change? That was the question, because the law had changed. Anybody, you didn't have to be sick, you didn't have to have a heart attack, you didn't have to be half dead to get an absentee ballot. Anybody could get an absentee, and of course, that's what happened. And Attorney King presented it to the registrar, question after question after question, about had the law changed. She said yes. Do they have new systems of voting, early voting, go to the polls, absentee ballots? All this was true and in the affirmative. Oh my God, I wish you all could have been there. Look, short form as I close this out. I'm gonna read the Georgia law 21-2-57. Let me repeat, Georgia 21-2-576-. I'm gonna check this law out that was brought out in the courthouse today, because it seems to me they talk about when a person destroys a ballot, or when a person delays a ballot. Even that was a misdemeanor. And here, y'all know, I wish you could have been in the courtroom today. I'm gonna put this up right quick. I'm on my lunch, and I want to get back in the courtroom. But look, let me ask you a question. Where's the news media? The news media, if they had been in the courtroom, they probably wouldn't tell you this anyway. But before it's over, I'm going to tell you what I've written down here, because you do have a right to know this. And I want the people of Georgia to understand, this is why Georgia, they say, is 50 to 70 years behind some of the other places, because we don't have an independent news media that will come down, that will do investigative reporting, and that will keep the people informed. Now, I walk the streets here in Brooks County, Pastor Benjamin and myself. I went to Morven. I even went up to Barwick. I went to a lot of these little, no, I didn't go to a lot of, I went about 5 of them. No, I didn't go to a lot of them, because there's a lot of them. I went to the Hickory Head area, and I actually talked to people. But the main focus was here in Quitman and Morven, Georgia, from what I understand. And I remember, I have it recorded from citizens. I interviewed people with my tape recorder who said that there was a white G.B.R. agent in a white truck. That's all I know. Whether it's true or not, I don't know. But he intimidated people so badly until it was just unbelievable. And I kept hoping, and I kept writing and hoping that the news media would pick up about, especially the elderly people, how they felt so bad. They was afraid to even come out their home, to even talk to us about it. One lady up in Morven said she would never, ever vote again. The meeting down here at the Brooks County Board of Education, problem was highlighted. People filled out legal complaints and sent it to Brian P. Kemp, the Secretary of State. We met right down the block there at Avery's church. They called me over about that meeting, just like they called me down there at the Brooks County Board of Elections office. They called me down there, and Brian P. Kemp sent his investigator. He met right in Avery's church right over there, right there. I got it all recorded. I got it on YouTube. And that meeting over there, the newspapers in South Georgia, Valdosta Daily Times, Quitman Free Press, no TV station or covered any of that stuff. They didn't interview anybody. We have it in the Black Archival Record. We have it in the archival parts of our mind, but it never got no place. Then can you understand that the Secretary of State haven't come down yet to investigate those complaints? Now look, this ain't new to you. You who have followed my YouTube, all of this has been documented. You got a lady, Miss Gibbs, on there crying out. You've seen her. She say, I'm gonna quote what she said. How much? No, she called the people out on the Brooks County commissioner. She called them out. Here's what she said. After calling their name, she said, how much more? How much more? How much more can one community take? Why is it they doing us like this? Now, all that's documented. I'm not pretending. I don't have to pretend. When I served this nation, I believed in what I was doing. But now I don't know. I do not know. And after nearly 500 years, for the black man to still be going through what they're going through now, it is indeed a disgrace, a disgrace, a disgrace. There is no need at all for us talking about Pakistan, Afghanistan, unless we can do better where we stand. My grandmother told me the history about Brooks County when I was a little child. They lynched blacks in front of this courthouse. My grandmother said that they drugged them over to Nigger Branch and threw them over in there. Now, we done moved from that, but to see and to hear what I heard in the courtroom today is just unbelievable. Thank God that the registrar at least tried, in my opinion, some avenue to tell the truth. I can't say that about my beautiful brother Boone. I can't say that about the former attorney at Brooks County High School, but it's one thing I'm going to say. There should be a news media that will tell our story. It's just that simple. Once again, this is the Ghetto Free Press, doing what I do because it must be done. I do not want you deaf, dumb, and blind to the times and unable to make intelligent decisions based on facts because they won't report it. I'm going to tell the truth as long as I can, and when I can't, I know God going to send somebody else to continue this, because St. John 8:32 says, and ye shall know the truth, and that the truth shall set and make you free. Once again, this is George Boston Rhines, the Ghetto Free Press. Just remember, it's all been documented. NAACP President, SCLC, Urban League, Operation Push, Nation of Islam. Get a transcript of the Quitman 10+2 court case, not just this one, but all of them. Get a copy of Eric Holder, the Department of Justice. Eric Holder, you already done received all these DVDs. I mean, Eric Holder, I know you got this stuff. I know you know about this. Even the Quitman 10, well, let me get out of here. Y'all know what? I gotta go to London. I'm gonna get right back up in this court case because I want you all to understand that something is seriously wrong here in the state of Georgia. And when you think about the newly elected black mayors in Georgia, and nobody's talking about Eric Holder, know about them and what they are going through. Black mayors banned, stripped from their office, although they were elected by the people, the majority vote. Then they turn around and try to move them from office, take them from office, ban them from their office, then won't let them have a meeting, then walk out on them while they are trying to conduct a public meeting in city government. And yet nobody in the state of Georgia or in the federal government will say or do anything, leaving all these people to look at our democracy around the world and laugh at us because nobody will stand up. But somebody got to stand up and somebody got to tell the truth as it was in the days of old, or this nation will be destroyed from within. This is the Ghetto Free Press, doing what we do. because somebody got to do it. If you love this nation, if you're in the United States Armed Forces, and if you are over there fighting for foreign nations of the world, you need to look at your own nation. And Jesus said, set thine own house in order. The Bible tells us that. How can we go and try to find peace and freedom and the right to vote in China and Russia, and right here, these 12 people haven't done nothing but got out and got people to register and vote by submitting absentee applications. And there was people at the beginning who was doing talk on a certain radio show, talking about they submitted all these ballots. They didn't know the difference between an absentee ballot and the application. And I tried to get the TV station to interview me and somebody and try to explain to these people. Now they smart people, very educated, but they just didn't know that there's a difference between an absentee application and an absentee ballot. I heard them talking on radio. I got it all. Some of this is on YouTube as well. And so I just did not believe that they would go this far with foolishness. But I am also sure that the God of our ancestors will be victorious and will set these innocent Brooks County citizens free from the hand of the man behind the hand and behind the door, who's orchestrating all of this in order to circumvent blacks from being mayors, taking over and leading on boards of commissions and others. But you have to understand something in God's word. God said it as clear as anyone. God have no respect of persons. For what I say unto one, I say unto all. The Ghetto Free Press. Bye-bye, we're gone.